how can we really reach this like next generation of like young men to facilitate real connection and brotherhood?
Well, I think you're doing part of the work. Part of the challenge is that there's going to be a lot of negative content on these social platforms. And we could take the ostrich approach and be like, stick our head in the sand and pretend it's not happening. I don't tend to subscribe to those kind of like, just get off social media or just like block it. I think there's a challenge for us to say, how do we positively contribute to this? Put some guardrails around it, but learn to coexist with the tech. One of the fun things that I did with my kids this last week is, you're hearing about ChatGPT and AI and what it's doing to the world, and how it's going to, and so many people are like, this is going to destroy us. It's going to make us less creative, and we're not going to. I'm like, I think this is like the internet, right? The internet was scary to a lot of people. Like, I'll never put my credit card on the internet, and in general, the economy's gotten stronger with it. People have gotten more efficient. There's certainly some dangers and challenges that have come with it, but how do we coexist with this tech? So I brought it home and I said to the kids, I'm like, I'm going to show you guys something cool. Give me an idea for a picture you want to create. And I remember they were like, let's do a sea turtle driving a punch buggy with a rabbit wearing a tuxedo and a top hat in Paris.
That's a vibe.
That was the
vibe.
image that they created. And when I like put it into ChatGPT and it created the image, they were laughing for like 10 minutes. And for the next hour, all they wanted to do is be like, what else could we create? I mean, we created a story around like a kingdom run by sloths, and like there were people who would bring them, raisins. It's just like their creativity ran wild.
Right.
And so, yeah, I could have used ChatGPT to do 100 things. What did we choose to use it for? We choose to unleash their creativity and figure out how to coexist. And so, when it comes to this, I think your generation is so much better than the generations older because you've had to learn how to coexist with it. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was in college, and my first smartphone until well after that. And so I'd laugh sometimes when people talk about IRL. I'm like, so what? I thought that was all there is in real life,
right.
And but I think it's so easy for people in the older generations to be like, kids these days, it's like grandparents are as bad as, like being addicted to tech as young. It's just, how do you choose to coexist with it? You've got to learn to put guardrails on it, set up accountability systems, learn to use things like screen time management. I always laugh when people are like, I don't have time for this. I'm like, let me see your phone. Let me show you your screen time settings. You realize how much time you spend on this? And it's easy. It's easy to do. These things were created to make us addicts. But just like anything else, any addiction is, the opportunity to fight. You could lay down against it, or you could decide to figure out how to coexist and work with it. And so I think you have to be intentional. I think that's the way to do everything is, how are you going to live your life? You clearly live your life this way. You're intentional about what you want, what you're trying to get out of it, versus just letting it push you through. You're deciding the direction. You're in the river. You can't necessarily guarantee where you're going to end up, but you can guarantee which way you want to head.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I don't know that I have perfect advice, but I think you have to learn how to coexist.